the fact that people think that Satan is an angel is the greatest deception that Satan has actually pulled out, because Satan is deceiver of everybody in the world. And so the greatest deception is the idea that is pushing that he is an angel, which is not. The Bible said he masquerades as an angel. The Bible didn't actually say he's an angel. The Bible says he masquerades. He wants you to believe that he's an angel. And so, the whole world now believes that Satan is an angel. When you believe that one powerful angel is working against you, it will cause learned helplessness. It will cause learned helplessness, and that's what we see. Like, people, they're always scared about Satan. They're always scared. They're not even living. They're not even living in the freedom that Christ has given them. They're living in the fear of Satan. You understand? So people go to church because you don't go to church, Satan will attack them, and all of these things. They pray not because they really want to commune with God, but because they are scared that if they don't pray, Satan will attack them. You understand? So that's learned helplessness, and it really affects a lot of people. Even it affects a lot of Christians. I used to be like that. It used to affect me. Yes, it used to affect me, but thank God for grace. Now I know that Satan is not an angel. It is not somebody to be feared. You understand? So you see, the whole idea that Satan is an angel is not actually a biblical one. And then I'm sorry to hurt anybody's feeling, but then the scriptures have to be true, and every man may be made a liar. And so whether or not you believe that Satan is an angel, it doesn't really concern what the scriptures are saying. There are places where that make people make these inferences. And so we have, number one, we have the book of Isaiah 14, where Isaiah called Satan Lucifer. And we know that the scripture did not actually say that Lucifer is an angel. Lucifer is not the name of anybody. There's nowhere in the Bible that you have angel Lucifer. You understand? So Lucifer simply means light bearer. You understand? So, and then this light bearer is not a particular person's name, but a role that the person is playing, and so the person bears the light of God. And so whoever bears the light of God is a light bearer. You understand? So it's not particular about a name, is a role that the person is playing, that, and that's why it's called that. And then we know that Jesus Christ is also a morning star. The term light bearer is supposed to be morning star. You understand? So we also know Jesus Christ himself said, I am the morning star. And so we also have many other places that the Bible itself, I think in the Peter, in the Greek or Latin, whatever, is, said Jesus was also called the morning star, the Lucifer. You get, because it's not particularly anybody's name. It's a role that the person is playing, that they are calling them with. Like husband. Husband is nobody's name. You understand? So, but then if you say my husband, people know your husband, but then that's not his name. He has to have a name, but then they know who you are talking about. So we know that Lucifer is somebody, but then that's not his name. And so when people say Lucifer is an angel, which angel? You have to say which angel, because you say husband is a man. Which man? You understand? So you have to be able to particularly pinpoint the person. And so we can't really pinpoint Lucifer as an angel in the whole of the Bible. There's also the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation paints Satan as someone that has angels. You get, so the book of Revelation did not actually say that Satan is an angel. The book of Revelation said that Satan and his angel. So we know from the book of Revelation that Satan has angel, but then we don't actually know what Satan is. You understand? So we also have Ezekiel. I think Ezekiel calls Satan a cherub. You understand? The word cherubim or cherub is not angel. I don't know how we get this idea that cherub means an angel. Cherub does not mean an angel. In fact, cherub does not have any meaning in the Hebrew language. You understand? So, but we don't actually pay attention to this thing. We just want to force our own beliefs to the Bible. Cherub is not an angel but a worshiper of God. We know that God placed a cherub in Eden. You understand? So when God placed, it was not an angel that God placed in Eden, because Eden was a place for man. You understand? So how would God go and place an angel in that place? Cherub is a worshiper of God, not an angel. So this idea that Satan worships God, oh yes, Satan was supposed to worship God, but not as an angel, but as a man. You get, so cherub are worshippers of God. I am a cherub of God. In as much as you are worshiping God, you are a cherub of God, and that's why you see that in the ark. The ark was a message to us. The whole of the Old Testament, everything they were doing, they said all of these things were not for their own sake, but for our own sake. You understand? So the ark they were building, the this, the that, and that, they were just messages to us. And so the ark were two worshippers the opposites themselves. So we understand that when you have opposite, that's a man and a woman, or a male and a female. You understand? So the both will be worshipped and God will dwell in them. It's a message to tell us that in this our time, God will dwell in man and woman. God will dwell within us. You understand? So whether it's not going to be a man alone or a woman alone, no, God will dwell in within. God will dwell within man and woman. You understand? Or within male and female. So you will be up, and I think Joel also reinforced that message when he said, "In the last days, I will release my spirit upon all flesh." You understand? So it's not going to be upon man anymore. It's going to be all flesh. As long as you are a human being, you understand? So God is going to pour His Spirit on you. So and that's what we see in the ark where you have two cherubs. You understand? So two worshippers of God. You understand? So not two people actually, but two natures. You understand? So you have the male nature and you have the female nature. God will dwell within them. That is what cherub is, and we know that the cherub that was placed in, the cherub that was placed in Eden after Adam and Eve left here. So people think that's an angel. No, that's not an angel. Angel, the word for angel in the Hebrew language is melech or melech or what they call it. I don't know Hebrew, so it's melech here. So there's no way that Satan was referred to as melech. You understand? So you just know that Satan was referred to as cherub in Ezekiel, and cherub is not an angel. Cherub is a worshipper of God. So I am a cherub because I worship God. I live in His word. You understand? So Jesus Christ was a cherub here on earth. You understand? So we have many other people. You too, you are a cherub. And the many of our listeners are listening to us. They are cherub because they worship God. You know, so it's not really an angel. So we know that God placed Satan in Eden, and we know that Eden is a place for man. I also mentioned the book of Job. The book of Job said that the sons of God, which are particularly, so to say, they are angels, sons of God, and they gathered and Satan joined them. You understand? So because we want to think that our belief, oh, the Bible has said it. No, the Bible didn't say it. The Bible didn't say Satan is an angel in that particular context. The Bible said that Satan went to join angels. You understand? Just like he said in Isaiah that I will go to heaven. You understand? So I will rise to heaven. So that's a trespass, actually. That's a trespass. It's not supposed to be there, but he has joined them there. It's just like saying, oh, 20 cats gathered and then one dog joined them. That would mean that the dog went to sit with the cat, even though the dog itself is not a cat. You understand? So even though Satan is not angel in that context, if the sons of God are supposed to mean angel, the stars of God, or you understand, if they're supposed to mean angel in that context, they are just saying that Satan is not one of them, even though he went to come among them. So by understanding, we would know that Satan trespassed because, as I had already said, that Satan said in his heart that I will go to heaven. You understand? So he said, I will go to heaven. And so we know that it's a trespass. When he goes there and comes among them, is trespassing. And so I'm not, because God is a very kind person. He doesn't have wala. And so God will just say, oh, Satan, you are here. What are you doing here? Where are you coming from? Nobody's actually saying that Satan is an angel in that particular context. If religion has popularized something, that will become the truth. And so religion has popularized the idea that Satan is an angel. And so we have this whole idea that Satan is an angel.